Hey guys, I'm Voden and this is my third year living in Japan. So, do I already regret moving to Japan? Is my Japanese still terrible? And how was the result of my JLPT test that I took in December? Let's find out after this intro. So for the people who don't know me, I moved to Japan 3 years ago. Been living here, working here, and have moved apartment 2 times already. If you want to see my previous update videos, there will be a link to them in the description, and let's get into it with this video about my 3 years in Japan and how is my Japanese now. First of all, let's answer the question that some people may be thinking about. Do I regret moving to Japan? Yes, I know. So far it's been kind of a mixed bag. Like, yes, there are things that I miss about Belgium, especially foods. Like, Japanese food is amazing, it's great. But I miss certain types of food that I really enjoy from Belgium, especially cheese. I really miss cheese. Like, yes, we have cheese in Japan. It does not taste the same and is very expensive. And of course I also miss my family and yeah. So that's also a thing. However, this year I was able to see my parents for the first time in 3 years, and that was on my wedding. So we finally had a wedding ceremony as well after so long. Like, when I moved to Japan, we got married, I got my visa, and we were going to have our wedding ceremony. However, because of the whole, let's call it fun season again. So because of the whole fun season, we had to postpone it several times. Until the time that we were like, okay, let's stop postponing it. Let's just try to get my parents here. Let's arrange the paperwork so they can enter Japan. Because Japan did not allow any tourists yet. However, because they are family of somebody who lives in Japan, they could come here with the needed paperwork. They had to go like 2 or 3 times to the Japanese government, Japanese embassy in Brussels, which is 2 hours, 1 hour driving for them. So thank you for doing that, parents. But the moment that they arrived, 2 days before, Japan lifted the restrictions and people could come to Japan without having to get their visa beforehand. So yeah, kind of a lot of work for nothing. Oh well, I saw my parents again, had our wedding, so that's a good thing. And for the rest, like, do I regret moving to Japan? Not at all. It's been probably one of the best experiences so far. And also baby update. So our little baby is starting to walk around, try to push the television, like, we had these kind of like plastic things on the electric plugs, the consenter. Somehow he's able to remove them. We have child locks on the closets. So far he has been able to remove all types that we have. So yeah, it's been very, very, very fun to be a father in Japan. The only thing is, like, I took paternity leave when my kid was born for 6 months. I really regret not taking longer. The amount of stress that my work gave me together with having to raise a tiny baby at home really caused a lot of stress. Let's talk more about stress related stuff later because it's kind of a lot. But yeah, being a father, and especially here in Japan, it's kind of nice. Like, the government really, really supports parents, especially new parents. I lost count of how many thousands of euros, well, 10,000s of Japanese yen that we received from the government for just having a baby. My wife came back from the hospital, we got money. Our kid is still alive some months later, we get money. Our kid is alive 1 year later, we get more money. So it's kind of rewarding to have a baby. Like, they're still expensive. I'm almost certain at night he wakes up, goes into the living room and he starts eating his diapers. And how is my stress in Japan? I'm trying to keep this video kind of short because there's not that much to talk about. This year has been kind of calm. Like, not much happened, but a lot happened. So my stress has reached a couple of new levels. After talking to some more colleagues, I started figuring out, like, I'm probably one of the only people stressed in my company. I have my reasons for that. I try to do as much as possible. I don't like sitting still, and most of my lunch breaks are only like 30 minutes to sometimes even 50 minutes because there's too many things that I want to do. So recently I started taking my full lunch breaks. Right now I'm in a 6-day break. I think it's mainly also stress related why I haven't really been feeling that well to like work on my projects that I want to finish. Make videos by example, because I've been really struggling to find motivation to work on things, and it's really time that I start working more on getting my stress level down and not doing as much at work anymore. I will still do the things that I should do, but I will skip all the extra things that I should not do. Like I'm fixing the radios, I'm fixing the air conditioning. Like I'm a teacher. I'm supposed to be teaching students, prepare the lessons, and every now and then make decorations. In the meantime, but the things that I do, I post a couple of 100 flyers every now and then. I fix the air, like all electronics. I fix like the laminator, air conditioning, the radios. I do so much in this company, and the more that I do, the more complaints I'm getting. Like the more bad rumors are being spread about me. So. But yeah, that also explains a little bit about my work situation right now. Like I still like teaching kids. It's something I really enjoy doing. And recently I feel like I found a couple of better ways to actually teach the students. So I still feel like I'm improving. I still have kind of a lot to learn about teaching things to people, teaching things to students, because teaching between junior high school and preschool, that's around like the age ranges that I have to teach. There are a lot of differences, and every like level has their own way of having to learn. Like it's kind of difficult. I may make a video about like how I mainly want to teach my students, how I mainly teach my students, because it may be helpful for other people who teach English abroad, like not specifically in Japan. I feel like my level of teaching is getting to a point that I would feel comfortable teaching other people how to teach. Also last week I made a video about the whole mask situation in Japan and how it's changing, so I don't really want to talk about the whole politic things or about the whole mask thing again, so just watch that video. But overall my current living situation here in Japan feels comfortable. As long as I can keep my stress down, my work is kind of a good place to be at, like to be working in. Our apartment that we moved into last year, honestly, I love the layout of this place. Like, there are some finishing touches that the people, when they reformed this place, that are kind of bad, but I've been fixing some of the ones that I can fix. I've been fixing a lot of furniture, like our sofa and our Zeiser that was broken. Our Zeiser is very full right now, but it's so much better, and it looks more luxury, it looks more expensive than it actually was. But I'm feeling like my skills overall in so many ways are improving. Like, I learned how to fix sofas, I've learned about the different kinds of fillings for sofas, how sofas work on the inside. I even fixed the middle mouse button, and I didn't really know what I was doing. I just knew the basics of soldering and such. It's very tiny. It's very tiny. Like, I've done some amount of soldering on like big electronics, like trying to make speakers and such. I've never worked with like circuit board level stuff. That was very interesting for me. Like, since I moved to Japan, I feel like I became so much smarter on so many different aspects. Like, a bit of electronics, PC stuff related. Like, I finished CS50, like CS50T, CS50 technology, and I'm almost finished with CS50 Python. I only have the last 4 assignments to do, and three last assignments and the final project. And then I got another certificate from Harvard, from CS50. So yay! And after that I will go to CSX. I've already watched the whole series, but I have not done any of the assignments yet. I was waiting until 2023, because then the course gets renewed. However, I just haven't found the time at all, nor did I find the motivation. It's only since recent that I actually have enough motivation to do things again, so yeah, that's a good thing. But like, my knowledge about everything has been improving so much, which brings us to Japanese! How did my Japanese improve? Having been living in Japan for 3 years. So, in my first year, my Japanese improved more towards like, I was able to listen to conversation and understand what they're saying. My second year of living in Japan, I was getting very good at understanding what people are saying to me. I was understanding most conversations. This year, I feel like I can finally call myself intermediate level. First of all, I passed the JLPT in 3, yay! I passed with a good score, but it's not great. So I'm kind of disappointed about my score, but it was difficult. Like, I've done a lot of practice tests for the N3. However, this year's test, well, the test in December, it was so difficult. Like, normally listening is like my ultimate best thing because I get all my points on it every single time on practice tests. However, now I barely got over 50%. I don't know why it was suddenly so difficult compared to all the practice tests that I've done, but it was. And in general, like, I can walk past people who are talking and I will understand what they're talking about. I can have conversations and reply. I can reply to people in a way that I want to be understood by them, which is great. I still can't say everything that I want to, like directly, but I know enough to basically do like Japanese people, take some loop arounds to get to the point where I want to be. So not a logical way, but a lot of zigzag. So I can finally basically do most things here in Japan, which have to do with talking with people in Japanese. I can go to a shop, I can go hiking, and if I run into trouble, I can relax because I know what to say to people if something goes wrong or if I need something, or I feel confident going outside knowing that I can communicate with people. And I've only realized this like in the last 2 months, when talking to my colleagues, to my wife's mother and such, like having more conversations with people, I realized that my Japanese got quite good, even though since the JLPT test I have not really been actively studying Japanese anymore. I just needed a break. For the JLPT test I studied so much again, and I think I probably caused myself a lot more stress because of that. So I want to start doing it easy, and in July, if I would pass a practice test for the JLPT, I will, like for the JLPT N2, I will probably do the JLPT N2 this December. On another positive point, I will finally start my Gamedev channel. I've been trying to make games for some time now. I've uploaded some devlogs, but it never really catched on my main channel, so I created a second channel on which I will create game dev videos. The first game I'll be working on is a 30-day project of making a kanji learning game. Because for some reason I feel like my games that I make have to do with Japanese language learning for some reason. For some reason I only want to make games that can help people in an educational way to like achieve something. I also have another project that I've been working on for some time now. No visuals yet because it's still very early stage. The name is Make Kazan, basically Dungeon Volcano. It's an RPG, turn-based battle system game, and I was like, how can I implement Japanese learning into a normal RPG game? I found a way, but that will have to wait for later because this video is starting to get kind of long. I'm at 20 minutes recording and I had to be somewhere 10 minutes ago. So yeah, that's basically how my life has been the past year. I know this video is kind of a little bit all over the place, but honestly that's how this year was. I started with paternity leave, started going back to work, a lot of stress at work, a lot of things happened at work. Then my wedding ceremony as well. My parents came to Japan, showing them around Japan in the very limited time that we had, because we lost 3 days because of the wedding ceremony. They only were here for 1 week, so not much time to do other things. Then the whole JLPT, like, not much changed, but a lot has happened. I'm happy to say I actually feel Genki enough, active enough, happy enough, so I actually feel comfortable making videos again, because I did not really want to make videos having to force myself to smile at the camera, because that will probably show, especially with me, because I easily show my emotions, which is kind of a bad thing, kind of a good thing, but for videos it's not really a good thing if I'm not in a good mood. So I'll try to have a normal upload schedule again. In the beginning, probably only 1 video every 2 weeks. I don't know yet, maybe every week I'll manage to make a video. If you want to stay up to date with my things that I do on this channel or in life, please click subscribe, one of these corners. And if you want to find out more about my game dev journey, then follow Voiden's game dev journey. Very original name. I'm terrible at names. Yeah. See you all later in my next video, or maybe in my next year's update video. Bye bye.